Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. The channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis, updated commodities, work our way through the dollar yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. If you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I go deeper into these sectors looking for potential investment opportunities. You get to see how I am playing this bull market. You can see what I'm buying, what I'm holding in my portfolio. I'm even creating a 100% um, to see whatever I'm doing in my Roth 401k that I have just started to add money into since August. So you can see exactly step by step how I build this thing out, not really hiding anything or anything like that. If you're interested in joining, Mayday coupon code is still active for 50% off the first month only on the monthly membership, and a larger discount on the yearly membership. You can always switch between monthly and yearly. And if you feel like you're losing out on half a month or something, shoot me a message. We can work something out. We have a question and answer session coming up at 5 p.m. Sunday where I answer your guys' questions over a Zoom call. Let's dive in. Let's take a look and see what's going on today. We're starting with the dollar. The dollar is still hanging in there. We have stronger yields today, so the dollar is hanging in there. The bigger question is, where's the dollar going to go in the short to medium term? Are we going to continue to head lower, or are we going to bounce around and consolidate? And that's a tough call in the short term here. But the momentum is still lower. And today we are up a little bit, 0.13%. And we've been kind of bouncing sideways since this guy here. We still have support and we're still above that support level. Yields are what are holding this dollar up. So looking at yields, we've got the 2-year moving sideways, basically flat today. The momentum is still to the downside. The 10-year, we're up a little bit, and that does look like it could creep higher. It very well could. And then we've got the 30-year that's also up higher, and that looks like it could creep higher in the short term. So we've got the long end of the curve going up, and we've got the short end of the curve holding steady at this current time. The reason this is such a big deal is because bonds price a lot of assets, and that has an impact on where we should be invested. Now, I'm not playing the short term. I'm playing 100% long term. It's a long term game here. I think it's possible that the 30-year and some of the long end of the curve can still go up. I think it's possible. And that's what we're seeing here in the short term. It's been going on up. And this is the unwillingness for people to buy longer duration debt at the current interest rate levels is really what it is showing us. And let me move this over so you guys can see percentages. Sorry about that. We've got the TYX TNX ratio. That is looking really good to move higher. That's a bullish engulfing. Now, what does that mean? It means the yield curve could still uninvert. The longer end of the curve could go up more than the shorter end. So this is the 30-year versus the 10-year. When this goes up, that is fuel for precious metals to continue higher. It doesn't mean that, if this goes down a little bit or something like that, that it's not a one-to-one correlation. It's about getting the big picture right. From here to here, precious metals flew higher. So it's from going from a low point to a high point. And then again, I think precious metals will move to the upside over time. It's a tailwind. Bond price is down a little bit. That's what the yield's going on up today on the longer end. This is the longer end. So we are still consolidating, moving lower. Medium term, it still looks okay to move on up, and we'll see what this does. Just because we've broken out of this doesn't mean that this isn't a false breakdown. We could jet lower. It is totally possible. And that's when we're watching yields to see what they're doing. And the 30-year and 10-year do look like they could continue higher. They do. So we'll see what the 20-year bond price does. Yields going up means bond prices fall. The 2 and 10 continues to uninvert. That's the short end of the curve, not really going anywhere, and the long end going up. So this is continuing to move lower, but we're doing it in an increasing interest rate environment. It's not declining. It's called a bull steepener, is what they call it, and it's pretty rare. And we've been bull steepening for a little bit over here. It's been occurring with that 30 and 10-year moving up in the 2-year either going down or holding steady. That's some people think under a bull steepener that inflation is being priced into the market on the long end of the curve. That is what some people will say. So it's not a recessionary fear per se, it's inflation being priced into the market where we could potentially bring this down like that. Gold is up big today, $32, and it's breaking this upper resistance line to the upside. This looks really good. Looks really good to continue higher. Silver. Now, silver was up 0.15%, and I don't know, the retail sector with walnut-sized brains for some reason, they can't go like a few months or 6 months without something going higher. They're like, well, how come silver's not going up? Gold went up. Gold's up $32 an ounce and up 1%, over 1%. Silver, why isn't it, guys? Time out, guys. Time out. That's not how you want to view the markets. That is not how I view the markets, at least. When I view this, I view where is your support, where are your resistance levels. You've got your support levels underneath us. We've broken to the upside here. We've done our retest, and we haven't had much selling pressure here. This is ready to fly. So it's not about when will it occur and does it fit my exact timeline. That's a timeout. That's an offsides penalty there, guys. We're looking for the traits, bullish engulfing, big move higher, small selling pressure up on top of this, above support, not much upside resistance. Now you're speaking my language. I can't control time, and neither can either any of you. You can't force this market to do something that it doesn't want to do. All I can say is this looks ready to go, and I think we could see a big move. So what I would be doing is I'd be scouring what the mining companies are and which ones have good setups. There are still incredibly good setups in the silver space, silver mining companies, incredibly good setups that you can still buy today. And again, if you guys want to know what those setups are, I'll talk about them on the Sunday question and answer session at 5 p.m. I will tell you exactly what I would buy. Real time. And if you guys don't like my buys, then tell me to my face. But this looks really good. It looks really, really good for a move up. And I think there are still ways to make money off this. We've got platinum, and I think platinum's doing exactly what silver's doing. We are consolidating sideways. We have a nice big bullish engulfing. Not much selling pressure. It looks good to go higher. I would be a buyer here. And even if it comes and tags down here a little bit lower, wherever it tags, I like it. I likey. Palladium, that's been pulling on back. We got a nice big bearish engulfing here. We'll see if it has any sort of follow through or if it's just a flag pattern consolidation, or maybe we go sideways like this. I don't know the future, but something like that is probably likely, and this is your flag. The flag pole, I should say. That looks okay. GDX is up 2%. Now, silver wasn't really up today. Why are the mining companies going up so much? Well, gold is up quite a bit. Yeah, it makes sense. But GDX is up 2%, GDXJ is up 2%, and SILJ is almost up 2%. Notice the lack of selling pressure here. We don't want to see the big red candlesticks show up like that. That's a pullback. And now we're coming and we don't have that selling pressure. What happens is when we consolidate sideways, at some point the selling pressure subsides and it lets go. And then we head up to a land far, far away to the upside. So everything looks good. Everything looks great in the gold and silver mining space from my point of view. XAU to gold ratio still looking pretty good. We're up a little bit today, but again, we're just underneath resistance. We're trying to break through that resistance and head to the upside. So that still looks pretty good, and I think everything is a-okay from a valuation standpoint. I mean, this thing's ready to hopefully make a long journey higher, where we see gold and silver mining companies outperform gold. Now, I don't have the crystal ball of the exact moment when. I know a lot of people ask that. Well, when is it going to occur? No one knows that answer. You can't ask that question. The better question is it of a good value? And over time, do we think this could go up? And what's the probability of that success? That is what I would ask. Crude oil up a little bit today, and we had a big day yesterday. It was big bullish engulfing. We had just a small little update, almost like a bloody nose. We'll see if we can pop through in this channel next week. We'll see if we can reclaim the channel or reclaim the resistance line that we need to get above. I'm still optimistic at this time. Things still look good, and we'll see if it can happen. TTF gas up 5%. That's a pretty big update. Kind of just we're at support. There's a lot of support through this area here. We're at support there. We've got natural gas up 4% in America. That looks pretty good. That's cooking there. Maybe we had higher. This is a double bottom, and we're moving on up. So that does look good. We got our boy XOP. Yeah, you know me, holding steady. Holding steady. Now, a lot of people are saying a recession's coming. I don't know if that is true. We obviously have the yield curve that's uninverting. That is generally a indication of a potential slowdown, but that doesn't mean we will 100% get a slowdown in the time frame that people want. We'll continue to watch this, but today is just a sideways day. OIH also moving sideways. Still looks okay to move higher if it wants to. It still could. We've got Newcastle coal futures looking good, up 2%. And that looks like we wanted to go higher. Why is that the case? TTF Dutch gas was up. So we could see coal and TTF gas move together if it decides to go higher. We've got Sprott Uranium Trust breaking to the upside, looking good. Not again, these candlesticks are pathetic. It gapped up in the morning, and it didn't lay down one of those big fat green candlesticks. I like the greenies. The greenies that go like this. I like the big break and then finishing at its highs. I like seeing that. But this one gapped up and didn't really go anywhere. It's still a breakout, but we'll see if it's sustaining. But it looks good on the weekly. Looks very good on the weekly. It's the physical futures pricing slightly lower, but this is still in the dead period. It's that sideways action that doesn't go anywhere. So that still looks okay. It's holding on. We've got URA up 4%. A lot of people are starting to move into some of these equities, kind of at that resistance level. We'll see if we can break through it. URNM's there too, getting up to that resistance level of a potential double bottom. Hopefully we can break through, probably do a retest and do something like that. I'll leave that there. And then URNJ's at the same, we're all in the same situation. It could be a potential double bottom, and then we break through and do something like that. That would be my guess. Copper down slightly, but still looks good to meander its way higher. So that's looking okay. We've broken the downtrend. We've got COPX down just a little bit, and we're not getting that huge selling pressure. It looks good. It looks good. It doesn't look bad. And we could easily do a little bit of a retest before moving on up. It looks good. We've got iron ore just moving sideways. Momentum still to the downside there for iron ore. We've got aluminum down today, down 2%, and we've been bouncing between these two areas, resistance and support. We're still in that channel. We've got nickel. Nickel up 1.4%, looking better. And maybe we're going to potentially base out a little bit longer here. I think the yield curve and the potential fears of recession are weighing on a lot of these base metals. And that's why we're seeing these big consolidations. Mu down a little bit today, down 1.26%, but not a bad down day. It's not a reversal candlestick. We've got a lot of support underneath us. It could be a retest on this support too. You break out, you do a retest, and then you could do a run. So I think Mu looks really good. Emerging markets, stronger dollar, stronger yields, down a little bit, still holding steady. We do have some resistance up here that we're trying to break through, and hopefully we can get through it. KRE down 2%, a little bit of selling pressure. Yields and dollar are not helping these in the short term here. Same with TAN down, doing a little, maybe a retest move back to the breakout. Again, these are all very sensitive to interest rates and strength of the dollar. Lithium down and REMX down. We haven't broken those key levels that I'd like to break. We've been moving sideways here. I think the driver is increased rates in dollar. Baltic Dry Index up 4.55, pretty big day, looking good to go higher, looking good to go higher. So we're seeing the rates go up for some of these dry bulk shipping companies. XHB, again, this is going to be interest rate sensitive. I think a lot of people are looking at mortgage rates and the 10-year yield specifically. And we pulled on back today. But still looks good. We're above support here and everything looks okay. Russell 2000 down 1.1. I think this is all dealing with rates. We've got SPX down a little bit. Again, is this a clear breakout where we're going to run higher or is this going to come back down? Don't know yet. But that's not a lot of selling pressure here. Makes me think we could go higher. NASDAQ also looking decent. It's holding on and it makes me think we could go higher if the sellers don't come in here. SMCI up 4 point something percent. That does look better though. So we come on down. This was looking like crap. We had big selling pressure, big selling pressure. But the thing that I do, see here is we see a move higher, not much selling pressure through here, and now we've got a more of a bullish formation candlestick. So this could pull out of here, and we could go higher here. Nvidia also just working its way sideways underneath resistance. And then we've got Bitcoin down 0.4%. Still looks good to go higher though. Still looks good. That's just a small bloody nose. And then Ethereum up 3%, and that looks like it's gaining traction here with that little downtrend line breakout where we can move on up. So that's what I've got for today on the daily update. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website. We've got that question and answer session coming up 5 p.m. Sunday, Mountain Time. Just as a reminder, we can talk about whatever you guys want. We'll go over some good setups in silver. I think that's still a really, really, really good opportunity to take advantage of. You guys have seen my purchase history. You know that I'm a big bull on it. So yeah, that's what we've got there. I don't think there's really anything else to head over. So we'll end it there. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.